Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
One. Oh, you just said 5, 4, 3, 2. All right.
You said 1.
This hour has to go fast because I have a spot.
Right. How can we make it faster?
Talk fast.
That's actually a terrible idea because we just we shot the whole thing on the previous ep. But that's not true. And when we're done with this, I have to sign another 150 comic books.
Yeah, you made it terrible. You signed a horrible contract. And you had to beg for people to buy the books. And now you have to sign 300 of them to get all together?
600.
Oh, my God.
I've already signed 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
And plus,
what will the signature look like? What will it look like?
Some of them look like my signature.
Some of them look just like squiggles. Here's what you're getting with a signed, I touched it. How about that?
Yes. But here's the thing. This could get even worse. So you have a whole bunch that Sarah already signed.
Yes.
Sarah you
Benincasa.
and Patton. Right.
Yes,
you
Patton
guys are the
Oswalt.
3 authors. What if you sign all yours, and what if you guys give yours to Patton, and then he loses the 600 cards? And
Or
you
he
guys
spills
have to start...
something on it?
Yes.
That's what I thought. I literally was like, do not drink anything near these. Do nothing. Do not fuck these up.
Yeah.
Because she's already signed all of them.
Right.
And I don't know. I guess we would have to sign more. I mean, that's my thing is when I was signing the first 300 or whatever this afternoon, before I became mind-numbingly bored.
Right.
I said to Andy, thank God I used to do data entry. Because I could just churn them out. I was churning out signatures. I got through most of them.
Yeah.
I still have probably another 150 to go. I don't know. I was going to count them and make sure I signed every single one of them.
Oh, my God.
And I gave up. I'm done now. I'm just going to sign all the pieces of paper that I've been given. And then I'm going to fuck off. Because I
They're
can't
like ballots. They can't be lost.
They can't be lost. You got to count every one.
That agent that you were talking about
last episode, yeah.
Yes, sounds like he doesn't have any female clients, and so he's mad when Jared asks,
or people of color,
or people of color, yeah,
or anything.
Sounds like he's white guy agent
who has white guy clients, and he's just sitting around living the sweet white guy life. I don't know what to tell you, but
booking. They're all booked all the time.
Well, and Jared told me that he uses the comic of the week thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He uses that poster for booking. He said that he looks at it and then, like, if they submit for Limestone, like, or if he's like, am I missing something?
Oh my God!
And I came up with, I was like, can I give you some names? Because it's easier to do Bloomington, Indiana, if you live on the East Coast, because it's cheaper,
right?
Because Indianapolis is the dumbest town to fly to ever.
Right. So unless you're going to fly in the night before, because you have that flight, which is not almost never direct, and then you have an hour drive, right?
An hour 15.
Yeah.
It's
a lot.
It's a lot, and it's always $600 to fly. So, but from New York, much different, right? Probably 300.
Yeah,
I assume. You could always. I'm told people do fly into Chicago and drive 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
or 2 hours.
You fly into Midway and take Southwest to Midway.
Is Midway better than O'Hare?
It's way smaller, and but Southwest only flies to Midway. It doesn't fly to O'Hare. When I go to Rosemont, I'm taking I'm taking Alaska Airlines out and Midway. Southwest back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, split it up a little bit. I had a bunch of Southwest points I could blow.
Did you get that email from Nina Manny about getting that credit card?
Yes, I did. I haven't. It looked like a lot of decisions to make, so I backburnered it. But I got to check it out. But I don't want to pay $450 for a fucking credit card.
You get a $300 travel credit on your account every year.
But you have to use it for what?
You use it only for airlines.
How do you know? How do they know? So you buy, if I buy a
Southwest
ticket on JetBlue, they immediately deduct the money out of it? I don't understand.
It's like the $450 itself. Mm-hmm. At some point during the year, they give you a $300 credit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but that's the card you use for travel. The Chase Sapphire Reserve, I'm told.
It's hard to wrap my head around paying up front for something like that.
Right. It also gets you into supposedly Sky Clubs and stuff. But all of them.
Really?
Yeah, you just show it to them. And then
Does it help upgrade you at all? Does it say
you get 50,000 frequent flyer miles when you get it.
Wow.
That you can use on any airline.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's got advantages.
Right.
If you go to Get to the Point podcast, I'm sure
I was listening to it today.
Oh, were you?
A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're talking
She also has like a tiny seminar.
Yeah.
Of how to get the most out of your credit cards and stuff like that. But you do have to find $450 to join the damn thing.
I could find it. It just bothers me.
But a lot of people can't. That's what I don't like about some of it. Is that
it should be on the back end, right? It should be at the end of the year. They charge you the $450, but they deduct. Then it turns into nothing because you already spent what you're supposed to spend.
Right.
And what's the
initial
rate? What's the APR?
Oh, probably 18%.
Okay, you just got to pay it off every
Yeah,
month.
it's one of those. I'm about to use it for Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. We're taking the whole family out for buffet. It's Milwaukee. Why wouldn't we go to the Pfister buffet?
Oh my God! Are there non-buffets? Do they have single plates in Milwaukee?
I think that you have to always eat at a buffet. You can go and order off the menu.
Okay.
I don't like a buffet. Just because
I just don't want so many. There's a buffet at Whole Foods, in fact, and they had to put up a sign. There's no sampling. It's like, what the fuck? Even at Whole Foods, people don't know you're not supposed to sample.
But that's not a buffet. That's just steam table food, right? A buffet is all you can eat.
I don't want people's mouths near my foods. Okay.
What about sneeze guards? There's sneeze guards. It's not enough.
The word sneeze near my food. They don't guard it because it's not completely covered.
True.
Gross. At least I maintain the illusion that only the cook and the server has seen the food when it comes out to me, when my pancakes are delivered to me.
Right, when you finally get your pancakes. How many shows did you guys end up doing, you and Conan?
4. And then, in Vancouver, we stayed at the Shangri-La, and I swam at the Vancouver Aquatic Center one day. And
how much was that?
Hold on. There's a whole bunch going on with
my God, this has beats.
So I took a cab too. Right, because we were leaving from the hotel.
Sure.
And then I didn't tip the guy because I didn't have any Canadian money on me.
Right.
And the guy who hailed the cab.
Right.
The cabbie I tipped because I could use a credit card. So then I'm at. I finished my workout. Nice pool, really old, 40 years old, but it's like an old 50-meter pool. It's like an old good pool.
Okay.
It's just like worn out jeans, right?
Okay.
Nice pool though. And so there's no lift. And there's no Uber in Vancouver.
Right.
So then I'm like, I was like a lost refugee.
I wonder if they have Grab.
How am I going to get back? Like I was, I couldn't understand it. And so they have a direct line to the cab. Like they have a separate phone that goes right to the cab. Yeah.
Old-timey.
I go, how do I get back? She goes, right at the aquatic center. There's a direct line to the cab. So I'm on hold for 10 minutes.
Ugh.
So I hang up and then I asked, is there another cab company here? And Yellow Cab picked me up pretty quick and then I got back.
Good.
And then the show in Vancouver was
How much was it? How much was the pool?
Oh, it was
$40.
$7 Canadian.
Oh God. Yeah, that's a great deal. By the way, you can tip an American, they'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately
Note to self.
That didn't happen.
It did not occur at this time.
So the show that night, it was like 3,000 people.
Wow.
Queen Elizabeth Theater.
Nice.
Big. Nice. Very nice. Super
Sold
nice.
out?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then two of our the tickets that I had 4 comps for every city.
Right.
By the way, fucking family. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I do know what you're saying.
One of my cousins, my mom's cousin, went to see me in Seattle, sends an email. You were pretty good. And Conan was pretty good too. I was surprised. I can't believe you say those things about your son. Why did you know what? There are comedy fans who would have loved would have
hear the surprise
pretty
in the
good.
text.
Yes,
yeah, the words "pretty good" should never be in a text. How about this?
It's not.
I really enjoyed
Jackie.
the show.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. You were great.
Yeah.
Everyone was great. Thanks
for the tickets.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then the next thing in Denver, I had 2 sets of cousins, one from my mother's side, one from my father's side. Father's side shows up. We have brunch the next day. It's awesome. Mother's side gets sick. So she goes, my friend can my friend have the ticket? So I go and change the name on it. That's always a little bit of a hassle. Oh, that one gets sick too. I'm like, what the fuck, you people? You know what? I do things sick, okay? I swim sick. I perform sick. I fucking
go to work
show up sick. I go to work sick.
Hey, sneeze guard over there. What are you doing swimming sick?
I go to salad bars sick.
Don't go swimming in some public school sick. Public pool.
Dude, that's what chlorine's for.
Oh, my God. So much chlorine.
Okay. So and then in Vancouver, my 4 tickets went to Patreons.
Yes.
Who emailed me. And then the next day I swam at the YWCA.
Okay.
And that was a 25-meter pool, and that was fine. And the lanes were very wide. And so,
this is a weird glimpse into the swimming world. It's like, why don't you have like a recurring, this is the pool I'm at on the road? That would be kind of... But
no, I wouldn't.
We'll just hear the tales.
Yes.
Anyway, never mind.
Well, anyway, so that was a fine swim, and then we flew to San Francisco, and that was that. And the San Francisco shows were, I was nervous. That was the first one I was really nervous for, because
where'd they play?
At the Masonic.
Okay,
which is like I was never a live music person like you when I was a teenager, but I know people that would always go to concerts, and the Masonic's a great place to see people.
Yeah.
And it's maybe, I don't know, was it 2,500 people or something? It was banana, and they were all around there. It's not in the round. It's a semicircle. It's a half circle around you.
But there's still people way in your peripheral.
Yes. Yeah. I try to look around to everybody.
Sure.
But,
I took debate class. I know that I'm supposed to make
by the way, we had a countdown clock. So
countdown?
Yes.
I don't,
what do you think about
count
that?
I love just a clock, a giant digital clock.
Yes.
Because I have math in my head.
Right.
And if I get up at 9:15, I can get off at 10.
Right.
Or if I get up at 8:10, I can get off at
I had one. I did 15
Depends how long I'm doing.
The first show I did 15 even.
Okay.
Maybe I was a teeny bit over. And then the second show, I looked down. It says 4 minutes left. And I was just going into the Spanish stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this even 4 minutes? Because that's the one I switched out material.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I'll just start talking slower. Talking to the audience. And so then it was weird because the first night I went over and it flashed. And I was like, I
hate it when it flashes.
Not helpful.
Anything
that fucks with your timing, just even a hint, it changes how the joke gets a response. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then the rest of the time it didn't though. So it just went to 0 and then it just let you know, hey,
that you're at 0.
I'm like, it's still at 0. I'm going over. Shit. But yeah, so the San Francisco, I had I felt like, I have this obligation to do local shit right up front, even though I haven't written a local joke because I haven't, been in San Francisco enough for, I don't know, 20 years to have a local chunk,
Yep. What are you going to do? Write about IT people? Those scooters?
No, I just came up with a Walnut Creek slam, as I always do. And but then it got an ooh. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I pissed off my hometown. And then I was a little in and out of my head, and I kind of fudged the setup to a joke a little. I corrected it, but it was, you hate when it reveals that you're not completely in the moment when you fudge a setup. Fucking hate that. So, but other than that, it was really good.
That's great.
Yeah.
I did 5 shows at the Comedy Attic, and this is the second one we're doing the same night. So I have this to say. Mm-hmm. I did 55 minutes most nights,
right?
And I am trying. I'm working on essentially the current hour, right?
Right.
So I'm trying to not do anything from the old albums.
Stuff that works, that works.
Exactly. Holy shit.
That's hard.
That's so hard.
That hurts.
It hurts. It's relatively, and second show Friday and Saturday.
You really needed
exhausting.
It. Yeah, right.
Because I'm like, I'm about to go into what could be a 4 to 6 minute chunk that doesn't have enough punchlines, but that needs to be worked out.
Will be a 2-minute chunk.
Eventually.
Right. But right now it's 6. Sorry, guys.
6. Sorry, guys. You guys have to sit through it.
You're part of the process.
You're part of the process. And
I hate that. Oh, it hurts.
It hurts so much. And one show I bailed. My favorite show was Friday's second show, actually.
Yeah.
Which is weird because that's traditionally not.
Yeah.
But all the shows were good. Everybody was great. That I love Jared's introduction. You know, he's just like, talking is the enemy of comedy. That's in his spiel that he says before he begins.
Yeah.
So, but it was such a slog sometimes to get, and I have all 5 hours on tape, and I've listened to none of them.
Well, why don't you have them transcribed?
I could have them transcribed, but tomorrow I have a 5-hour flight.
Right.
I could at least listen to 2 and log 2 of them.
Ooh, no.
Just
you
2
won't.
of them.
That's so painful.
It is painful, and I didn't do it on the way home. We know that.
Right.
Because I also have only one set from Salt Lake. Now, because remember, I'm 7 shows into this new hour.
Right.
Where I'm trying to find the correct order.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get these, and it's working, of course.
Great.
Because it does.
Yeah.
It works.
Because you're a professional.
Well, yeah, and right, and it does work, but the slog of it is both fascinating and painful.
Very painful.
Because it's such a triumph when you find the right angle. I found a new, like, you know, I do the beating up the old man story as I did it on HBO. I did it on Two Dope Queens, and it was too long. They edited it, by the way.
Oh, did you like their edit?
I really did. They really did a very nice job.
Interesting.
They that set was whoever cut that set was had a real good ear.
Great.
Because I appear genius like. Good for them. And but I came up with a new good line in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it's both tighter, smarter, and hits harder, which is good. I'm doing the Delta Sky Club story that I told on this on this podcast, and I've done it now I've done it. I haven't done it every time because it's such a commitment, and there's part of it that I don't like. There's an emotion in it. I was thinking about this, and this is a weird segue or lateral move, is the fact that I was thinking, if Louis C.K. did the bit about making people watch him jerk off, doing that bit initially, having to work through the real funny, to find the funny of it, right? Because the first time he did it, he would probably do it defensively, right?
Right.
Who asked? God knows. I don't know how the joke would go, but he too, just because he is human, would have to, and a comic, would have to work through the bit as well. So,
but it's weird is we all have a version of the story in our heads. Like, I don't know your Delta story, or the audience doesn't know your Delta story. So if you're working through it, we're not like, nah.
Exactly. And he would be kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a version of his story.
Right.
In it. And,
he could still figure it out. If he cared enough.
Yeah, he could. If he cared enough, he could still fucking figure it out.
Yep.
And it's a dead horse. So, but the Delta story, there's not a moral in it, but there's a moral in it. There's just a sort of weird. I want this the way it ends right now. There's this recognition moment.
Yeah.
From somebody in the Delta Sky Club, and I get that recognition, and it's something that has never gotten a positive response from the audience. It has gotten like pockets of positive responses, but more people just going, "Wow, how lame are you that you wanted this?" You know, they sort of turn on me a little bit.
Oh, right.
And there's a very big part of me that believes that they are correct. And
is that when the other person notices what you said? Or
yes,
something?
And comes over and says high five.
Is it? Is the negativity coming from parents?
It is not. It is coming from what could if I wanted to put it like this, the most awakened portions of the audience that are just like, you do the right thing for the right reason. You don't do it for the parade, right? And I want the parade. And so it's not funny enough yet, right? Because if I'm going to end it on that, there has to be... Turns out there's going to need a punchline, is what I'm...
Yeah, it's more of a visualizing an action.
Yeah. Like, and I can milk it with a mugging and with an act out.
Oh, it's so exhausting.
It's exhausting, and it's a cop-out.
It's not consistent either.
Right. Right?
You don't want to go all the way to the end and go, I hope this still works.
And I love that that is a point of contention, because if it worked every time, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Because if it worked every time, I might do the act out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a time when I would have been above it. Those days are done. So,
well, I mean...
yeah, there's so many chunks. There's that chunk.
Well,
there's... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... So how committed are you to keeping the story the same? That he high-fives you?
Well, it's not so much a commitment as that it has to change organically.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not committed to keeping it the same at all.
Right, right.
It just has to be able to be changed in a way that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what will happen. And I have another, 12, 13 shows in these next 2 weeks to get to work on it, which I'm excited about, but also dreading. Because I'm also, when you begin something that doesn't have the close, plus...
Well, here's the thing. If it, like, the idea of the high five and the person agreeing with you sort of ends it neatly, it's almost like a sitcom ending, right?
Right, it's a button.
Yes, but it's not, doesn't heighten the comedy part of it. It just gets you out of the story.
Yep.
So is there an earlier laugh that you can just end on?
Right.
Or do you have to button
flip
it up?
Yeah.
Or can you flip things around? I don't know. I don't have it memorized, so I don't know exactly all the elements you're dealing with.
It's actually a relief you don't have that memorized, because that'd be weird.
Yeah, it would be strange.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is to change the story, might, because everybody, who listens to this has been in on it since the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. They might know that the story doesn't end, but I could put the high five before the 9 leave.
Fuck them.
Right.
Girl, you're working on a bit. You're a professional comedian, okay?
Right.
People are lucky to hear you go to detail what goes in. People should know we have to take a true thing, and then we have to fucking muck it up and ruin it and rearrange it until it becomes a funny bit that works on stage in a nightclub while a waitress is serving drinks and serving checks to people, okay?
Right.
That's what we have to do. This is not a truth. We're not truth tellers, okay? No. We're fucking comedians, and we make shit up. So I don't want to hear any guff from anyone who raises her hand. That's not the order of the story. No, it's not, okay? Because I got a job to do now, okay?
Right. And the job takes precedent. The job takes precedent. And for me, if there's some sort of reason I'm telling the story, besides making people laugh, and it still serves it, fuck the details.
A lot of different things go into it.
Yeah.
It's like any sort of... I was reading, the woman who just was talking about being Woody Allen's girlfriend at the time that he wrote Manhattan, right?
Okay.
And so she, for the longest time, she was talking about she's probably the inspiration for the Mariel Hemingway character. Mariel Hemingway was 17 when she shot it.
Okay.
She plays Woody Allen's love interest, but she realized he might have, he knew other girls. He might have taken things from other people.
Right.
And so I don't know why I'm taking solace in a Woody Allen artistic, but
it's
I'm just
a weird
saying,
analogy. Yeah.
You're going to, this story might link up to other stories that have happened in your life that haven't been stand-up comedy worthy yet, but now they all do. And you are totally allowed to add all that shit in and change things and swish them around and stuff.
That's it. You know what? It's that, when I think of other stories and details that are not accurate, but it doesn't matter.
No.
Because what I'm trying to do is drive the thing towards a punchline that is strong enough to close on.
Yes, and you have an emotional truth in there, okay? And that's all you need.
Right. So, yeah, both of those things are all that are required is the laugh and the emotional truth, I think.
Right. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Thank you.
There we go. And so I am looking for
I feel like we solved climate change right now. That's how definitive.
We did. We solved it. It's I'm out.
Oh, you're done emotionally?
Yeah, I'm done now. No. Here's the other thing. So I'm doing this week, which will be over.
Yes.
By 2 weeks, because this is the week I do. I think I'm just around LA doing sets. Mm-hmm. Follow me on Twitter. Find out where. Jackie Cation. Anyway, so, this week, Brandy Posey is featuring for me at
cool.
Acme.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, she's coming in.
Is she from Minneapolis?
She is not. I thought she was staying with someone. She got an Airbnb.
Oh.
I know. And Acme actually pays features, out-of-town features, pretty good.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't put them up.
Does not put them up. And but I get like a cab stipend.
You do?
I do, from the airport, because they don't pick you up from the airport.
Oh yeah.
But I have 2 brothers and a sister, so I can give her my cab stipend at least. But I just feel, well, it's and I don't even know. Lewis might throw a cab stipend at her, which would be more money too, because she can still have my cab stipend, right?
I think she has a very enhanced merch setup that I'm obsessed with, and you need to take pictures of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She asked if she could bring CDs, and I was like, please do. It's the week before Christmas.
Yeah, she has like a trunk, and I guess it all looks really cool.
So she's got a display thing.
Yeah.
All right, I'll bring it.
Yeah. Because I was thinking of...
Because I'm bringing everything.
Good.
I sold so much shit in Bloomington because I brought everything. I brought all 4 T-shirts. I brought 3 CDs and the DVD.
Yeah, you'll put fucking chuck
Pins.
those bags into the bottom of the airplane. You don't care. $25 per suitcase.
56 pounds.
Whoa, that is a gigantic suitcase. Oh my god!
But get this, because I'm diamond, I get 70 pounds.
Oh my god! What's the normal? 50?
50. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it all fit in there.
And then I showed you the sample for the tote bag.
Yeah.
We just don't have a good logo.
Yeah.
And I've talked to 2 different artists, and neither one of them have time to make us a logo. So
of course
we will. But you have feelers out, right?
Yeah, but I haven't gotten
anything back yet. Yeah. So
why don't we just fucking open up courier font, type Jackie and Laurie Show, and throw it on a fucking bag?
Do you know that Maria was doing a joke about how she didn't have any merch? She was like, why don't you write the word comedy on a piece of masking tape, slap it on your sock, and that's on brand. Why don't you go with that? Make your own fucking merch. You will have employed an American.
What's the turnaround time on the bags? How soon do we have to get them in a design?
We got it. It's almost instantaneous because I think they're toddler made. Like, I think it's like
the children do work quickly, don't they?
They do when held to the fire.
when food is withheld. Yeah.
Yes. So the instantaneous is what I'm told.
All right. So we'll figure
it out.
We'll
we just need that. Yeah. And then we got Patreon. We're doing good on Patreon. We have a big announcement.
Yes,
in January.
But we can't announce it yet.
No, but we're supposed to tell people we have a big announcement.
Yes.
Which is one of my most irritating. I don't enjoy that.
No.
Take it back. We don't have, nothing's happening, you guys. We're just going to keep doing this forever.
So I have a couple spots this week, and then I'm going to just kind of log off comedy a little bit and just snuggle with my son in a foreign country.
That's right, because this is the week before Christmas that we're recording this.
Yes, I spent so much time going out every single night, including this night. I'm going to miss, putting him to bed, or maybe I'll get there at the very tail end of it because I'm heading right to Flappers after this.
Flappers.
And to do the Writers of Conan show, but I think I'm the only writer that's on the show. Yeah. Should be writer of Conan, but that implies there's only one writer. But anyway.
Right. Will Conan be there?
No.
No.
I think he also spent a lot of time building up to this, and he's been traveling a lot.
Yeah,
like a month on the road.
Right,
basically.
He would like to snuggle with his family.
Yes.
The week before Christmas.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, I do have that one set, but that'll be it. And then I get back on the 2nd, and I desperately need a set, and I don't care where it is, just to get that out of my head, and then back in it.
Right back in it on the 3rd. Well,
how much time have we done?
Well, let me tell you on this one. Oh, Comic of the Week time.
Is it 30?
Yeah, we're at 29:55 or something.
Okay.
I picked him.
Yes.
Because I met him on the Lady Parts Justice, Liz Winstead's reproductive rights nonprofit.
Right.
She does a tour in the summer, and then she does benefits, and then they do videos and all these different things. And so I got to meet Frangela.
They're so funny.
Frangela Duo, Frangela Duo.
And they're Francis and Angela.
Francis and Angela.
And they're a comedy team, which I don't know how the finances work on that. I really, after what you just said about Brandy doing Airbnb or something, I don't know how it works. They've been doing comedy forever, and I'm sure it's fine. And I'm already worried about them.
No, I think they had an animated series for a while.
Oh, okay. They're fine then. What am I worried about?
But they're super fun. I just did a benefit with them. Yes. An afternoon benefit.
Yeah, they're great.
They had this great bit about healthcare. They had
do they do sketches, or they sort of talk and kind of compliment
it's the
each other?
banter. It's they do that duo banter thing, which I couldn't do with someone because I don't like anyone that much.
we have enough of a problem. But they used to do Best Week Ever, and I was East Coast Best Week Ever, and they were West Coast, so we were always spliced into the same show, but I never met them until a couple of years ago.
Right. They're awesome.
Yes.
So that is what you should do: is find Frangela Duo.
Yeah.
For they are the comic of the week. And okay, so then January is coming, or this will be January, I think, won't it?
December 31st.
Okay. So I'm not doing anything this week, but then I'm at Laughs in Seattle. Used to be in Kirkland. And so I
find out if that guy will book me.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, it's so funny.
I don't know.
Dave, you don't know Chili Dog from Alt.comedy?
I remember the name, but I don't think I knew him, and I was always very loyal to the Comedy Underground, but
fuck the Comedy Underground.
Well, not fuck them, but the money's like
nonsense.
It's not great.
And so Dave and Angela they're actually really great.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I keep hearing when something's great, I'm like, why are there no inquiries about me? If it's so great, why do they ask? It can't be great if they don't like me.
You're not wrong. But I do. Well, here's what's happened is Andy Erickson asked me if she could feature.
Wow.
Andy Erickson was top 5 on Last Comic Standing.
She's so funny.
She's a Minneapolis comic. She's like 2 generations under me. Yeah. Maybe 3. And comedy-wise. Yeah. And she loves unicorns. She's adorable. She's hilarious.
She's actually my child.
She's actually, I'm her aunt. And but she's great. And she was like, because she's doing that dry bar thing.
Oh.
And so she just needs to work on some chunks.
Sure.
So she just said she wants 30s.
Yeah.
So I email TJ at Gersh booked me for this. So, but I emailed Dave and Angela directly, and I'm like, hey, I want to bring Andy Erickson. She knows that there's no air in hotel, but she's got a plan. And and you should already be headlining her because she's awesome. No, I didn't hear anything from them.
Yeah.
And so I sent them another email a couple days later that said, hey, Andy Erickson wants to feature for me. I have some good gossip about Louis C.K. I got a pretty good story.
Oh my God. You were flooded with, not just from Dave and Angela, every club in the country wants to book you now.
Well, and then I emailed TJ and I said, hey, those guys might approach you and say what's going on. Cause I don't ever bring features on it. I don't know how to do it. Right. And I always feel sad because of the no air and travel and the money.
I can't handle
the guilt
through that. Yes.
And so, I I wish my money were better that I could do what Maria does, right? That I would share it more. And so, but I am going to give Andy some money because they don't pay features at Laughs.
Wow.
So they just do showcases. So they finally call me back.
Well, that's why the boom's never going to end. There's no expenses to own a comedy club. Apparently.
Turns out it's wow. Yeah. So I'm talking to him, and Dave said the very funny thing because the New Yorker asked him if he was going to book Louis C.K. and he said, "I only book people on the way up." And then, and I said that I wanted Andy, and I was like, "You guys should be headlining her anyway, and it'd be a great way to see her do a longer set." And Angela's like, "Well, I already booked a feature." And I was like, "A local guy?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, then you can just move him." And I said, "Straight white guy?" And she goes, "Yeah, everybody's a straight white guy." And I said, and I laughed. And then I said, "Well, I'm going to bring my unicorn loving lady friend, and she's going to feature, and you can tell him that it's my fault." But and she goes, "Okay, he's really nice." And I said, "No, I'm sure he's great." And Dave yells, "Does she know that we don't pay the features?" And I said, "Don't brag about it, Dave." And I said, "I got her covered. I'm going to go throw her the tiniest amount of money." And so anyway, Andy Erickson's going to feature for me at Laughs, which used to be in Kirkland, but is now in downtown Seattle. And they have razor wire, you guys.
I don't know what that means.
It's barbed wire. The building they're in is a really nice room, but for some reason they have where you sell the merch is sort of this outdoor sort of area.
Yeah.
And it's got a fence with fucking razor wire around it where you're like, why is, and Angela was so funny because she's like, it is, yeah, we're going to be the safest place in Armageddon. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it should be called like Arma-Laughin' or something. There was a pun at the end of this story that I've completely forgotten because right now I'm so exhausted.
You're brain damaged right now.
I'm brain damaged.
And it's not your fault.
It is not my fault.
I absolve you of all guilt of that horrible, horrible line.
I got to get up at 4:30 tomorrow.
Oh my God.
And fly to Minneapolis.
Horrendous.
And then
do a show?
And do a show.
Oh, that's right. They start on Tuesdays.
But at least it's direct.
Yes.
Though I do not believe I've been
are you flying out of LAX?
LAX
Delta?
to Minneapolis, Delta.
You'll be upright, right?
I will be upright. There will be there's no pods.
Yeah.
And if I'm lucky, I'll get bumped to first class.
That would be nice. You could lean back on the private jet.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Now,
there was flat
nothing came up for your feet.
Okay.
But your back was flat. Yeah. I mean, you could probably stick your feet on your purse. It would have worked.
Right, your
It's
bag.
not like a JetBlue Mint Pod. That I've only
it's no
had once.
JetBlue Mint Pod that you're still
but the
reminiscing.
cool thing, Jackie, you're in a car. It gets driven to the plane. No TSA. I think, did I say this before? Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Right. It seems
this is comparable to the Emirates business class flight where I'm like, my life has been changed and I'll never get over it.
Right. Because
why have you done this to me, Conan O'Brien?
Exactly. Well, and here's the thing is you only need to be treated too well one time to think that you deserve it all the time.
Jackie, I should have been famous. You know what? I finally realized what a great mistake was made in the universe when I was made not famous.
Do you know that what my sister and I used to talk about how we have 6 children in our family, you know,
right?
And we used to talk about how condoms were invented in the 1700s, right. And how our parents should have taken advantage of such a thing.
But who would you kill of the 6 of you?
Well, you don't have to kill. Because unless you believe that a condom is an abortion. But
Jackie, I do. And I'd like to talk to you about that.
Finally, the reveal of a century.
I'm an arch conservative. I don't even think men should masturbate.
Because they're ruining their sperm. So, but Darla said that she mentioned that to somebody about the condoms. And they said, yeah, then you wouldn't have been born. And she said, no, that I would have been born a Rockefeller like I was supposed to have been born, which is perfect. We should have all been born a Rockefeller.
Right. Yeah. Your parents had to split it 6 ways. It's too many ways.
That's too many ways.
How much time have we done?
We're 39 minutes.
Oh, my God.
I'm very disappointed. Where's Kyle? Wait, where the fuck is Kyle?
I don't know. His laugh does eat up some time. This is like a very dense 2 podcasts.
This is pretty dense.
Kyle free.
I'm going to look at my notes and see if I have anything that I haven't yet. Who haven't I bitched about yet, I guess? I've mostly just, I don't want to bitch. I'm so psyched about these long sets, you know?
I know.
But it's that time. It's that time of year. It's that time of comedy when you don't have, like, I have probably 20 minutes that's solid, right? That could be its own fucking album, an EP. But then I have 25 minutes that is actually right now 40 minutes. And it needs to be worked on. And so if that is a joy for people to come and see, please come and see me headline in the next 6 months. But these next 13 shows are going to really, I think they're going to tighten up. Some seriously.
I think so too. I feel like that chunk I worked on, it's kind of done-ish, you know, probably a few things could be tweaked and improved and stuff. But now I head into the holidays turning off my comedy brain for a little bit, and then I'll come back and, you know, I don't know what I want to talk. Maybe Japan, I guess.
Maybe Japan. You might have new stories,
right?
You'll have new topics.
But so many comics have been to Japan. Do we all have Japan chunks now?
I tried to work on my Hanoi.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's the most interesting thing and I'm looking forward to doing it at Acme because Louis is Chinese and Louis loves all jokes that are about the Chinese.
Okay.
He's like, what are my people doing? And comedy wise. And so, but my whole thing is just about the Chinese tourists. And I have like 3 jokes about the Chinese right now and it all ends with I think it's going to be great. The Chinese are going to, it's their century. There's
what we're in now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you're in the top echelon of the Communist Party, it's your century. If you're a woman in China, it's not your century.
Or
has it ever been?
Has
Probably
it ever
not.
been? Probably not. Not ever. And I was thinking about this today too. Is just is how mad I am most of the time these days about being a woman. It's entirely because I didn't know how bad it was. Because we didn't have all the information.
Yeah.
Right? They had like, it was like never having women comics on one show.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to talk to each other. So you had no clue of what was happening. It was interesting working on the feminist stuff in Bloomington because those guys are just, it's mostly a bunch of
college.
It's a college town, so it's great. Jared was so funny because the last show, Saturday's second show, he walks in and he's mellowed so much in the last 10 years. He genuinely
I haven't
has.
known him 10 years.
Yeah.
I've only known him 3 or something.
Yeah, and he used to be super like you know.
Oh, he's very intense.
He's intense.
He reminds me of Tom Sawyer from a long time ago.
Okay.
At Cobb's.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, right.
A very intense comedy fan, you know, that has a lot of opinions on comedy. Versus a lot of club owners that just basically sell beer and want you to get off on time.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jared was talking about, and Lewis was talking about this too many years ago about how he didn't want to open up another club because he's not there.
Right. Yeah.
Because the things that you want to do right, you want to do them right at every club you own.
Sure.
Because it's your club. And what Jared does right is amazing, and it's great. But he walks in, and this has first couple of years of Jared in it.
Yeah.
Because he was but so much mellower than he would have been 7 years ago. Because he goes, so people came in, they're wearing camouflage. What are you doing here? What are you even doing?
I love when he
here?
berates the audience because he doesn't like them as they enter. There's a bachelorette party. Listen, I told him I was going to kick him out if they said one word to you. It's okay.
One of the camo ladies did talk, like she talked to me.
Yeah.
All she did was go, you're right. Like, but literally, you're right. You should swoop. Waitress.
I know, they're on it.
Waitress swoop going, okay, you gotta not talk at all. Not talk at all.
You know what's a weird thing is like, okay, so if I have some stuff I want to talk about from Japan.
Yeah.
First, before I just went by myself once, and I have a chunklet, you know.
Yeah.
And but there's places you go in the States and they're never going to Japan, and a lot of them aren't leaving their state. You know what I mean? And it sometimes it's not a money thing. There's no interest. So there's that divide of like, why would you go to Japan? And then sometimes it is a money thing. Like, oh, Miss Fancy. Mm-hmm. Right. And so it's sometimes bits like that are.
Yeah, you got to remember the old
figure out a way to go, here's why we still have something in common, even though I want to do something that you either can't afford to do or will never do because you have no interest.
Yes, Leno did. He talked about this very thing in some article I read where they interviewed him. He was talking about, he did a bit about how he sent his parents on a trip to Europe. Mm-hmm. And he said, the first time I did that bit, the audience couldn't have hated me more. Mm. He said they were like, oh, Richie Rich.
Right.
And so he changed it. Speaking of changing a bit, he changed it to me and my siblings all pitched in and did a lifetime dream of my parents to go to Europe. So we all pitched in and they got to go to Europe.
But and then he got to do he paid for the whole thing because he's an only child. Isn't he an only child?
I don't know if he's an only child.
He might have one older sibling.
Here's the fun fact.
He's not from a giant Leno Italian family.
No. And here's the things I know about Jay Leno. Mm-hmm. He never spent any of the money from The Tonight Show.
He brags about that, yeah.
His wife is a philanthropist, and that's her job.
She spends his money on...
She spends all of their money on good works.
She knew about the Taliban before 9/11. I remember reading about the Taliban, and she talked about women and how they were treated by the Taliban. Before 9/11, before anyone had heard about it, she was like sounding the alarm just about how women were treated so horribly in Afghanistan by those people.
Huh.
Yeah, Mavis. Yeah.
All right, Mavis. Good for you, Mavis.
She's ahead of the curve on that kind of stuff.
Have you ever met her?
I have not, no.
Have you ever met him?
No, I haven't.
I have very briefly. You know, I did one of those improv shows, Jackie Cation and Friends.
Yeah.
And him and Judd Apatow showed up and Todd Barry.
Oh, yeah.
And they all wanted to go up. And I said, Todd Barry's my friend. I don't know Judd I mean, I've met Judd Apatow several times. He always seems very nice.
Yeah.
I do not know Jay Leno. And Jamie, who was the booker at the time, goes, I don't know how and I said, oh, no, they all get to go up. Nobody can tell them that they can't go up. They're all... But I was supposed to do 40 minutes at the end of the show, and I ended up doing 10.
I think I was on that show.
Were you?
Was Jay Leno wearing like a jean? Well, he always wears a jean shirt.
Well, it was with... Did you see Jim Wooster do a character?
Yes.
In a dress?
I was on that show.
You were on that show. You were one of my friends.
Yes.
It was before we were actually friends.
Oh, my God.
It was weird.
Yeah. You, like Mavis, saw into the future.
Exactly.
So that's always kind of weird when you're trying to figure out what to talk about, how to,
how to relate to the people that you're talking to.
Yeah.
And make sure it's relatable.
Well, and this, I mean, we just both had months where we made $7,000 off of work we've done.
Yeah, that's
5 years ago.
Yep.
So that's, I mean, some people, that's
an
takes
insane
them 6
amount of
months
money
to make, you know, and they might be at your show,
right?
They're
probably listening to this.
Yes.
And the thing is to have made $7,000 in 1 month is exciting. They're excited for us. We're excited about it. And
yeah, I mean, I was just listening to NPR talking about the growing economic divide in this country and how all the money is flocking to cities and it's leaving rural
Has
areas.
it ever been in rural areas?
It's been more middle class before.
Okay.
And it's just leaving. And like, Amazon going to New York City and basically Washington, D.C. to set up their new, manufacturing plants or factories or whatever headquarters they were putting up when all these like rural and mid-sized, cities in the middle America were offering them amazing deals. And hey, you could fucking turn this whole state around if you guys would show up here, Oklahoma, Kansas,
Wisconsin.
People so desperate for any sort of, for jobs and just, tax money and all that kind of stuff. And they said, no, we'll go to these places that are already, bleeding money. So I don't know. Is that going to affect, do you think it will in the future affect shows? How many times, like I've been to Ohio a lot this summer. I did 3.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Cleveland.
Oh, wow. That's right.
2.
You did.
That's just 2.
But that's kind of a lot. Very
white, and Cincinnati was a little more working class, But, we're one of the comics that I was working with, he drove me around a lot.
Yeah.
So I filled his gas tank, right?
Yeah.
Which is like $40,
$30,
whatever it is. But it's like, every time I get gas, I fill it up. Mm-hmm. But he didn't. He's like, oh, it hasn't been full in a long time. Like he just gets, enough to
10
whatever.
Bucks. Yeah.
And I forgot that's
how we all used to live.
Yes. Yeah. And how many times I'm wondering, how many times am I on stage reveal that I forgot that
you're enormously rich? Because we are.
To them. To some people.
Right.
Right.
But the thing is I mean, the rich is so, I feel rich. Mm-hmm. I feel like fabulous. Like I bought a pair of shoes. Mm-hmm. I didn't look how much they were. And I would spend $60 on a pair of sneakers, right?
Yeah.
They were over $100.
Yeah.
When I finally looked at it and I was like, that's being rich to me.
Yeah.
Not having to look and being able to pay my credit card every month.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair. And I don't know how to fix it.
Right.
But I think the weird thing is I was thinking about this, is that a lot of, I know a lot of male comics that are libertarians, and they are, or not libertarians, are socialists.
Oh, okay.
And want the changes to occur on a financial level. Mm-hmm. They're like, if we could just spread all the money out evenly, mm-hmm. it would make everything even. When all the women comics I know are like, yeah, that'd be fine. But why don't we help the people that are the poorest right now? Mm-hmm. And the women comics I know, or just the women I know, want to actually help the people, singly. And the guys have some sort of big plan.
Yeah.
And it's just I can't, it's not that and we need both of it, right? We need mm-hmm. someone to have a big plan, but we also need someone to fix the nuts and bolts of it.
Right.
And I keep talking to guys who only want to have the big plan. Mm. And since I'm a person who's like, no, we need the big plan, but we also need the nuts and bolts. It's exasperating to talk to the guys who are like, if we just fix the economy, then everyone would be even. I'm like, no, 10 years from now, there would still be an economic divide. You have to work on the education. You have to work on the things that people have always done, like early education, mm-hmm. healthcare, food stamps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why those things were invented, so that they could help the actual poor people get their shit together, so that the next generation, or 12 years from now.
That piece of shit, Paul Ryan.
Yeah.
One of his last things he tacked on to some whatever farm bill they passed was visas for Irish immigrants.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I was in Indiana, and I was talking about how I had to drive through Klan country to get mm-hmm. to Bloomington, mm-hmm. the best town in Indiana, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I said, but I don't have a leg to stand on. I'm from Wisconsin, and you guys gave us Pence, but we gave you Ryan, mm-hmm. and there's no punchline to that.
Just tears. Can a punchline be tears?
Can it be rage?
It might end up being that way.
Exactly. We got 7 minutes.
Well, I also feel like as a comic, this will end. So,
what will?
Money.
Oh,
income.
The money. The income coming in.
The good years that we're having, that you and I are both having right now.
Yeah.
Will end.
Always.
And not end, in a good thing, or where they get more. I doubt it. I fucking tried everything, Jackie. I've tried everything to move up in some sort of money class bracket, or some sort of comedy bracket, and I'm still fucking here.
Well, pardon me, this podcast is going to rocket us into some My Favorite Murder kind of sitch. But
that would be awesome. But it hasn't yet,
and it doesn't matter if it does. Quite honestly,
it doesn't matter. But it's like, so we're just going to keep trucking along, figuring out little streams of income here and there, and hopefully it'll be enough to get us through to our deaths.
Right. Which is what almost everybody else does anyway, right? Yes.
But don't you get in a comedy because you're like trying for the bit? You're trying for what Amy Schumer has. You're trying for what Chappelle has, what Dave Attell has, right?
There's a real question, because that's not why I got into comedy.
What?
I know it. I didn't know that you could even make a living at stand-up comedy.
No, but once you get in, you see when we started Seinfeld, Brett Butler, Roseanne, you're like, maybe.
And 1,000 sitcom deals.
Right. Yes.
And people kept asking.
Development deals.
Like, how many times from 1989 to 1994?
Right.
96? Mm-hmm. Did people say, well, what's your sitcom idea?
Yeah.
What's your you're going to get the development deal. People are going to get the development deal. Chicken's going to get the development. And you're like, do I want a development deal? And then... Mitch Hedberg died because Mitch Hedberg had the great joke about being good at stand-up comedy and not being, the difference between a chef and a farmer.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to be the chef. I don't want to be the farmer. But the thing is when you're offered farmland, it's almost, this analogy is it's meandering around a little bit, but I mean, like if somebody
kept me very Wisconsin.
It's
Jackie's
nice.
Got herself a dairy farm now.
Yes, I've been offered a dairy cow and 3 chickens. Oh my God, Andy caught 2 feral cats and put them in Tiberius's old cage.
Whoa, so that he could they must be going bananas.
No, so that he could take them in to get them fixed. They were the kittens.
Oh, okay.
He couldn't get them out of Tiberius's cage into the cat carriers. One of them bit and scratched the fuck out of his hand.
Wow.
And I was like, when was the last time we had a tetanus shot? And he had to let them go. He could not get them in. And so he's like, this is going to take longer.
You know what? They're cats. They'll fucking figure it out. You don't have to worry about them.
We have 37 cats.
That's nice.
That's too many cats.
I saw one crawl in front of me right as I parked here. It was nice.
Our front yard is a litter box.
There's probably one inside the house that made a noise in the last podcast.
It's a litter box is our front yard.
You don't have any rats, right? No mice? Pretty good.
Possum.
What?
There's possum.
That's okay. Their possums are slow. They're nice. They're friendly. Their eyes glow in the dark. That's not bad. You're complaining about wildlife. What's wrong with you?
I'm sick of talking to you.
What time is it?
How can we still have 3 minutes?
Oh my God.
Doesn't it feel like it was 3 minutes an hour ago?
Yes.
Because I think it was. It was 3 minutes. I think I looked down at the 3 minute.
All I know is if Dead People Suck had sold more, that agent would have returned my email.
Oh, hey, Audible passed.
Yeah.
Audible passed on the romance novel. I texted you.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think they're wrong. But they didn't. Because here's the thing. They didn't pass. The reason they passed was because of the things that I told them were the problems with it that I would have to fix in the second round.
Yeah.
Because what they said was...
Did they pay you for any of it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, well, the second half of the spec money, which of course is already a win, is coming. Okay. But here's the scoop. So they asked me a funny romance novel.
Right.
I told them I have never written a novel, subset, of course, a romance novel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write these 2 sample chapters and this outline. And what it will probably be is just a romance novel that then I will have to go back and make funny.
Oh, right.
So
hang ornaments on the Christmas tree.
Right. Or get in the middle of it and blow it the fuck apart and then put it back together.
Or
right?
or make a character funny. So it's sort of
right. Or something, right? Yeah. And so I wrote the 2 chapters and the thing. They all read it. This was the feedback I got. It's just a romance novel. That's kind of funny. And you're like, yes.
What about the romance of you and Andy?
What about it?
Well,
it's so nice.
Write it up, girl.
Write it up.
Make
it modern and then punch it up. It's it could be. We could do that. I have the sex. I have the little drummer boy joke that I'm doing. I have a Christmas sex joke.
That, you know what reminds me? That I was thinking as I was looking at all these royalties, I'm like, I should have an entire album of holiday material for different holidays. Christmas, your Christmas stuff gets played.
Holy
Valentine's
shit.
Day.
That is a genius
fucking
idea.
Arbor Day. St. Patrick's Day. What other? Cinco de Mayo. 4th of July.
Oh my God.
There's every fucking month we could be getting $7,000.
At the very
Labor
least.
Day, Memorial Day, dead soldiers.
All right, Bing Crosby, stop. Holiday
Bing
comedy
Crosby.
album.
Yes.
Is what that is currently the name of this episode.
Are we done?
I think so. Okay, bye.
Happy New Year.